Hello crypto friends, checking in on the sector. We've got some interesting setups that are going to dictate pretty much how we're going to go through the first half of September, and we'll go through a couple scenarios. First things first, what's the dollar doing? Not much, still where we closed last week. No bull break of 94, but if we break 94, it will be notable for metals and crypto. Again, if you are a crypto bull, you want to see a daily lower high compared to 93.91, and you want to see the price fade back down towards the low of 92.13. Anything other than that, and the bulls need to be cautious because of the inverse relationship that DXY has with metals and crypto. So Bitcoin on the daily time frame, we were looking for a daily higher low to form compared to 11,120. The pullback got sizable enough that we are now looking for a daily lower high compared to 12,500. The only thing in my opinion that would increase the odds that we could just go straight to a higher high would be notable increasing bull volume. If we do not have that bull volume, the most likely scenario remains a daily lower high. What we're looking at right now is sizes of retracements. The size of this retracement from 11,120 to 12,500 let us know that a daily lower high is the most likely scenario. The size of this bounce retracement is going to give us clues as well. Is this a daily head and shoulders pattern? Entirely possible. Or does the daily bounce get significant enough where even though we may reject from 12,500, we still then look for a daily higher low compared to 11,370? That is now the most important short-term daily support level for me, because if that level breaks, we confirm a daily downtrend, which means zoom out, because weekly consolidation, which has not happened in a couple of months, will be underway. So that is where it stands. Looking for the lower high. How significant is this bounce? If I'm a bull, I want to see this bounce get to 12,000. If I'm a bear, I am top fishing. I am making bearish entries, scaling in here and putting my stop above 12,500, hoping for the head and shoulders pattern to follow through. For the bull entry to be made on this daily high or low, it's the same as the bull entry that I made on ETH for a swing trade a couple weeks ago. It's the 4-hour trend change. If you remember from that video, it was ETH giving us a 4-hour high or low, scaled in a couple entries or had a couple entries set, only one filled, and then we changed the trend. It's the same thing. We look for the 4-hour trend change to indicate the daily high or low has been established. So yesterday morning, we were able to say aggressive bulls are making entries off of the lows. And again, look at that very low risk. Even if I enter at 11,570, I'm risking $200. And at this point, the reward has already been $300. So that's the favorable scenario to put yourself in. So aggressive bulls looking for an entry on the 4-hour high or low. Patient bears are waiting for an entry on the daily lower high. That's where we stood yesterday. Bulls got their little bit of follow through. Now the question is, how much more follow through can we see? Dominance chart for Bitcoin, still not doing much. We broke bullish out of the falling wedge. We did not change the trend by breaking 62. Have to see 62 break for that to be a daily higher low and then a higher high. If we don't have that, the price levels remain in a downtrend. So we are back testing that previous downtrend resistance line, now trying to act as support. Dominance bulls and Bitcoin bulls want to see 60-26 hold and 62 break. And again, depending on what Bitcoin US dollar pairing is doing at that point in time, if we do get a bull break of 62, but we confirm a daily downtrend on the US dollar pairing, that means that the altcoins are dropping faster and weekly consolidation is happening faster than it is on Bitcoin. ETH, same thing. We're looking for a daily lower high compared to 447.50. If I were an aggressive bear and if I were looking to enter short, I would be making a first entry already over 400. I would have a second entry in the 420s and maybe one more in the 430s. Again, ensuring that the risk amount, if I were to get stopped out over 450, would not be too significant. And again, the bear's goal is the head and shoulders here. Fail to break the recent high and then lose the daily uptrend, which means zoom out for weekly consolidation to be underway. ETH has seen a higher low every single week for 2.5 months at this point. Just need to be a little bit cautious if we do see things shift. ETH BTC, same thing. There's your head and shoulders potential. We're looking for the daily lower high compared to 376. And worst case scenario for the ETH bulls would be for this chart and the US dollar chart to both give us a daily lower high and lower low on this current bounce. Link USD has a nice 12-hour tightening time frame. At least it did. Let's see what time frame I like now. 6 hours, nice and clear. So we got our low of the pullback, high of the bounce, higher low, and it looks like our lower high was just set at 1588. So 1588 and 1636, lower high resistances. Bulls really want to hold 1465. If 1465 breaks, this daily bounce will not have much follow through at all, and we'll be looking back down at the low of 1284 support. Bigger picture, we're looking for a weekly higher low to be set on Link when we do see consolidation. But the size of this pullback from $20 to $13 essentially, that is a 35% pullback. That marks the temporary top for the time being, in my opinion. The best the bulls can hope for is to hold that 1284 low and then trade within this range for a week or two. XTZ USD, weekly consolidation, looking for a higher low to form. Same thing as the 4-hour time frame. So what does this stand out for? If I'm not in a bullish position, and I want one, same thing as the Bitcoin and ETH 4-hour examples. We look for a big enough bounce that we anticipate a higher low is the most likely scenario on consolidation. We enter on that consolidation. We have low risk with our stop under 327, because if that level breaks, then I'm wrong. Our weekly higher low has not been set yet, and I don't want to be in a position if I'm wrong. We have to see the higher low hold and then the daily trend change to indicate the weekly higher low has been set, which is the exact same thing as looking for the 4-hour higher low and 4-hour trend change to indicate that the daily higher low has been set. Once you have these relationships down with these time frames and trends and how they interact with each other, it's the same thing whether I'm doing it on the 5-minute time frame scalping a day trade or doing it on the weekly time frame for a swing trade. The setups and the patterns and the strategies and the risk and reward scenarios are the same. OMG. So another one where our temporary top is set. You know, we're not going to get back to that all-time high in the near term. We're watching, this was the 12-hour time frame that I was watching. So we have the high of 982. The low of the pullback is down at 526. Lower high of 730. And now the bulls. So here's a low risk entry. Declining bear volume. And I'm looking for an entry based off of 526 support. It's still a 10% plus risk, so my position size has to allocate for that amount of risk, but I would expect with daily, or I should say 12-hour exponential support and that level right there for the bulls to attempt to hold that at least initially. My style of trading would be, let's say I make an entry at 575, put my stop under 525, and let's say we set that higher low and we start to bounce. My trading style would have me take half of my profit, even if it's just at, let's say, 50-cent risk, and my entry is at 575. If I exit half of that position at 625, we're still within this tightening range, and I am now in a risk-free trade because I just locked in 50 cents on half of my position, which means my break even on the second half of that position is 525. That's my style of trading to get risk-free as soon as possible. Let's see how this 12-hour time frame plays out. BNB USDT. Another one with the potential of a head and shoulders. I'm looking for a daily lower high compared to 2391. Key daily support 2128. And again, weekly time frame has not consolidated in a while. Cautious if we lose the daily uptrend. XRP ping-ponging in between this range. Pretty much a double top at the high. We did get a bull break with no follow through. Held the low just barely, and now we're scouting a lower high compared to 329. And if I were looking bearish in the crypto space, XRP would be one of the names that I certainly look at because it overall has been weaker than most names for the most time. LTC USD, we're looking for a daily lower high compared to $69. There's no bull volume here that has anything noteworthy. And the key support will be 57.75, our daily higher low, to see if the bulls are able to keep their control. So again, keep it very simple. Aggressive bulls are already in positions. If you're looking for a bullish entry, I do not like entries at this point. To extend it, if I were looking for bullish entries from here, I would need to see a big enough bounce on the daily chart where I am anticipating a daily higher low is then the most likely scenario. If I'm looking bearish, I am patiently scaling in to daily lower high probability, or looking for the daily lower high. My stop is going over our recent highs, looking for the daily lower high to be the most likely scenario. Otherwise, you are patiently waiting. For me personally, I am patiently waiting for weekly consolidation. So I exited that ETH trade. I will be interested in Bitcoin and other altcoins if we see the daily downtrend confirmed and weekly consolidation underway. Again, there won't be any major red flags. We'll just be looking for weekly higher lows. But we're teetering on that level where the bulls are running out of a little bit of momentum. And if the dollar bounce clears 94, these are a couple things that could align to give us that weekly consolidation. So again, my trading style is conservative. When I'm wrong, I leave money on the table. I don't lose money. So if I had a position and I were wrong, I would lose money on the weekly consolidation. If I don't have a position and I'm wrong, I miss some gains to the upside. And I personally am A-okay with that. So I hope you all are well. Establish your trade game plans. Be patient. Do good things. Attach this fan favorite video at the end of a stock video with the S&P 500 hitting all-time highs last week. We've had a couple altcoins hitting all-time highs. We're going to break it out of the closet. Someday, it'll be all we post once Bitcoin hits all-time highs again, but not yet. See you soon. The Chart Guys. Technical analysis. No FUD, no FOMO. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. All-time high.
Let's start.
Trade like a robot. Higher low, lower high. Are we in a bubble? The Bulls versus the Bears. Stick to the chart. All-time high.